Let's be honest for a second. You're grinding nonstop, but when you look at your bank account, it feels like none of that hard work is actually paying off. You know the vibe. You get paid on Friday, you feel rich for about an hour, and by Tuesday, the money is gone. We all tell ourselves the same lie to feel better. We say, I just need one more promotion, then I'll be set. But that's not true. I know people making $40,000 who are broke, and I know people who make $150,000 and are still broke. So if you feel like you're running on a treadmill, it's not because you're bad at math. It's because you are caught in the salary trap. It's a system literally designed to make you feel rich while keeping you poor. So today we're going to talk about why the game is rigged against your paycheck, and more importantly, how can you actually get out? Number one, the illusion of the big number. So let's start with the basics. The biggest trick the system plays on us is the big number. When you sign a contract, they give you a number. Let's say, congratulations, your salary is $85,000 a year. That sounds amazing. You instantly start doing mental math. You think about the car you can buy. You feel successful. But that number, $85,000, is a phantom number. It doesn't actually exist. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are 30 years old. You're smart, you work hard, and you just landed $85,000 per year job. So on paper, you must be doing better than most people. But let's look at what actually happens to your money. You get paid every 2 weeks. So if you divide $85,000 by 26 pay periods, your paycheck should be around $3,200. But you never see $3,200. Before the money even hits your bank account, the government takes a slice in form of taxes, social security, insurance, and poof, it's all gone. The actual amount that lands in your bank account is, let's say, $2,400 after all the deductions. Okay, so $2,400 every 2 weeks. That's about $4,800 a month. You can live on that. But this is where the salary trap kicks in. This is the fragmentation of income. It just means your money gets chopped into tiny pieces before you even hold it. Your money lands on Friday, and by Monday, the system has already eaten most of it. First, rent. Let's say you pay $2,000 per month, which is not uncommon nowadays. That means out of your paycheck, you're gonna have to put aside $1,000 just for a roof. And now you got $1,400 left. Now you need to eat. And you know grocery prices are painful lately. Just buying basics like eggs, bread, milk, maybe some chicken, it's all very expensive nowadays. And since you are human, sometimes you are too tired to cook, so you grab takeout. Let's say food is $400 for 2 weeks, including groceries, takeouts, and sometimes dining in. That is actually pretty conservative. Now you have $1,000 left. But here comes the next expense. You drive a car to go to work. So you have a car payment, insurance, and gas expense. The car is not a luxury. It's a tool that you need to earn the money in the first place. Now, if you look at the real numbers, $700 is the average monthly car payments in the USA right now. And the average total monthly cost to own and operate a new car in the US is around $1,000. So let's say we're average. Let's say the car costs you about $500 every 2 weeks, including everything like car payments, insurance, and gas. So now you have $500 left. Now, if you're a recent college graduate with this new job, you must have a student loan. And the average monthly student loan payment in the USA is estimated to be anywhere between $460 and $536. Let's say you pay $500 per month, which means $250 per paycheck. Now you have $250 left. And we're not done yet. We've got phone bill, home internet, Netflix, Spotify, small things here and there. They all add up. So that's another $100 bi-weekly expense. Now you have $150 left. And finally, the boring expenses, electricity, water, heating, that's another $100. So let's look at the math again. You started with a big number salary. You got a net paycheck of $2,400. And after paying for the basics of existence, you have $50 left. $50 for 2 weeks. That's $3.50 a day. That is barely enough to buy a coffee. And this might make you feel like you're failing. You look at Instagram, you see friends on vacation and wonder, what is wrong with me? I make $85,000 a year. Why am I drowning? You feel poor, but the world tells you you are middle class. This is the trap. The system fragments your income so efficiently that you have zero slack. You are basically a funnel. Money comes in from your boss and flows directly to your landlord, the bank, and the utility company. You don't own the money. You just handle it for a few hours. And because you have no slack, what happens when your car breaks down? Or what if you have a medical emergency? You're gonna use a credit card, and now you are in debt. And once you are in debt, the trap closes tight. You have to keep working just to pay interest on the money you borrowed to survive the job you already have. It's very exhausting just thinking about it. Moving on, the psychology of golden handcuffs. Now you might think that kind of person just needs to manage their money better. Stop eating avocado toast if you're not making enough. Well, we love to say that. It makes us feel superior, but it's not that simple. The system uses psychology against us. It's called lifestyle inflation or golden handcuffs. Here's how it works. When you are a student, you live like a student. You eat instant noodles. You sit on a couch you found on the street. You are broke, but you expect to be broke, so it's okay. Then you get your first real job. You get a raise. Your brain says, I worked hard, so I deserve a reward. So you move into a place with no roommates, you buy a car that doesn't smell like old gym socks, and you buy the good kind of cheese now. This feels like progress. But then you get another promotion, you make more money, so you upgrade again. Now you need a 2-bedroom apartment. You trade the Honda for a BMW to look professional. You take vacations to Europe instead of camping. The gap between what you earn and what you spend never gets bigger, it stays tiny. It's like running on a treadmill. You run faster, you sweat more, but you stay in the exact same spot. We call these golden handcuffs because the lifestyle is the law. To keep the nice car and nice neighborhood, you need that high salary. You can't quit to start a business. You can't take time off. You can't switch careers to something you love but it pays less. You are a prisoner of your own comfort. You have a shiny car but no freedom. And the system loves this. Think about it. Who is the perfect employee? Is it the guy with $100,000 in the bank who owns his house? No, that guy is dangerous. He can say no to the boss. He can walk away. The perfect employee is the person with a big mortgage, 2 car payments, and the kids in private school. That person cannot leave. That person will tolerate a toxic boss. That person will do whatever they are told because they are terrified of missing a single paycheck. The salary trap is not just about money, it's about control. If this sounds too familiar, if you have ever looked at your bank account 3 days after your payday and wonder where it went, you aren't alone. I talk about this stuff all the time here. I try to figure out the money game so we don't get played by it. If you want to be part of that, please hit the like button. It tells YouTube that this is a useful conversation. And please hit subscribe if you want to hang out for more of my videos. Alright, let's get back to it because it gets crazier when we look at the people we think are rich. So let's talk about the rich broke people. Maybe you're thinking, well, that makes sense if I only make $85,000. But what if I made $200,000? I would be fine, right? Let me give you another scenario. Let's look at a case of high income poverty. Imagine you work in tech. You are a senior manager. You make about 250 grand a year. By almost any standard, you are rich. But financially, you are just as fragile as before. Why? Because when you got that big job, you bought the big job starter pack. You bought a beautiful house in the suburbs, but it came with a $4,000 mortgage, plus property taxes, plus maintenance. You send your kids to the private school. That's another $3,000 a month. You drive a luxury SUV. Your partner drives a nice crossover. That's $1,200 a month in the car payments. You go on nice vacation. You have a golf club membership that you never use. And when you get a raise, let's say you get $20,000 bonus, you don't save it. You think, awesome, time for a new kitchen. The money is spent before it even hits the account. Statistics show that something like 40% of high-income professionals are living paycheck to paycheck. If you lost your job tomorrow, you could survive for maybe 1 month. After that, the bank takes the house, the bank takes the car. You have high income but zero wealth. This is a distinction nobody teaches us. Income is a river. It flows in, but if you're not careful, it flows right out. You have to keep showing up to work to keep the river flowing. Wealth is a lake. It's a water you have captured. It sits there. You don't have to work for it anymore. The system is designed to maximize your income so you can maximize your spending. It is not designed to help you build a lake. In fact, the system hates you when you build a lake. Why? Because if you have wealth, you don't need to borrow money. Banks make money on debt. The economy is built on consumption. They need you to buy. So the culture bombards you with, You deserve this vacation, treat yourself, or don't you want your kids to have the best? They convince you that if you don't have the $4,000 mortgage, you're not successful. They play on your insecurity and it works. And this leads to a really strange existence, the comfortable prison. Most of us are living in a comfortable prison. The walls are made of nice things, streaming services, apps that deliver tacos at 2 a.m., heated car seats. We are comfortable, but we are trapped. We are terrified of losing our status, so we cling to the job we hate. We put up with the commute. We trade our time, our actual life for money. And then we immediately trade that money for stuff that we don't really need, just to cope with the stress of the job that gave us the money. It's a perfect closed loop. Work to pay for the car to get to work to pay for the house that stays empty because you are at work to pay for the vacation to recover from work. The years go by, you look up, you're 50 and you have made $1 million in total salary, but you have nothing to show for it except old receipts and a garage full of junk. This is the salary trap. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your life or that you should live in a cardboard box, but we have to admit that default settings of the society are set to self-destruct. If you do what everyone else does, you will end up broke. To win, you have to be a glitch in the system. Now, before we go any further, let me ask you a question. What is the dumbest thing you have ever bought after getting a raise? Or what is a luxury you pay for that keeps you broke but you refuse to give up? Let me know in the comments. Last but not the least, breaking the cycle. So we know the trap exists. The math is rigged. Marketing hacks our brains. Is it hopeless? No. You can escape. But you have to be intentional. You have to be a little weird. The first step is realizing that income is not the goal. Optionality is the goal. Optionality is the ability to say no, to say I don't like this project, I'm not doing it, or I'm taking 3 months off. To get optionality, you need to create a gap. Remember from our first scenario, the income was $2,400 and the expenses were $2,350. The gap was $50. That is a tiny gap. To escape, you must widen that gap. You can earn more or spend less. Ideally both, but spending less is what you can control today. Ask yourself, do I actually care about this stuff? Do you actually care about a brand new car, or do you just want people to think you are successful? If you stop caring about what people think, you can drive a 5-year-old Toyota. It has AC, cruise control, it plays music, but it costs you way less. You could probably afford it in cash and your car payments becomes $0 per month instead of the average $700 per month car payment. This is how you buy freedom. Could you live 20 minutes further away for $500 less per month? If you can, that's $6,000 a year in savings, and in 5 years that becomes $30,000. If you have $30,000 in the bank, your boss doesn't own you. I know it's not a lot yet, but you walk a little differently. You speak your mind. You aren't desperate. This is freedom money. The way out is to stop inflating your lifestyle. When you get a raise, pretend that you didn't. If you go from 50K to 60K, keep living on 50K. Take that extra 10K and buy assets like stocks, index funds, rental properties. Buy things that pay you instead of things that cost you. It sounds boring. It's not as fun as posting new watch on Instagram, but you know what is fun? Not stressing about bills, not waking up in a panic on Monday, knowing that if you get fired, you will be fine. This is a level of happiness a BMW cannot give you. So the system is strong. It's on your TV, on your phone, on your mailbox. It wants you to be a good consumer, a loyal consumer. It wants you to run on the hamster wheel until you are too old to run. But you have a choice and it requires discipline. You have to decide what matters more to you, looking rich or being free, because usually you can be both. Think about that and I'll see you in the next one.